So, on the old maps, on the really old maps, we're starting to get Almondbury, not even almond. I was going to talk about the word, almond shape and amygdala, part of the brain, and all to do with that meaning of Almondbury. But it's actually spelled in the older terms as Almsbury with a space, ALMS, Almsbury, right? Now, the word alms is like a religious word to give alms, right? Alms. You say like alms, but it's ALMES, alms. So it is religious connection. You can actually have a house of alms to give house, to give shelter, to give place to stay. Now, there is a Latin connection to do with giving alms. In there it means the same thing, but we have a word. Now, this is looking at more, if you think of the Arthurian times, the Alfred, when we've got King Alfred and all this era, following when the Romans left. And we've got a lot of elfin, means 11, and elf. In fact, the A and E in elfin for 11 and arms and 11 is, and in fact, on the last video, I was looking at two letter L's actually when I was looking at that mound. But anyway, it says it's that A and E connected together, right? Ælmesse and Alms, right? Both actually with the connected AE, right? Now, if I'm not going to get all Professor perfect with you, I'm just going to tell you, right, the general, without anyone trying to, say, oh, no, that's not connected to that, it's connected to something else, right? This is my opinion, right, which I'll state my opinion. So, to give alms, religious alms, is basically, it is, things like to do with pity, forgiveness, it is basically engaging in spiritual practice. When you start looking into the sacrament and to the the different I've just forgot the name now. The sacrament is one of them. The list of things, and there were meant to be 7 or 8 of them, and they're all arguing whether there is 7 or 8 of them or not. They're all different listed, and one of them is sacrament, right? So, to give charity, to give food, or to give prayers, or to give pity, or to give relief, or to give shelter is literally, basically, it's something. It's the process and procedure of giving to those who might be in need of something. Likely something good, not something bad, right? Whether it's charity, whether it's shelter, whether it's somewhere to stay, it literally is, whether it is a sacrament, and welcome to the church or whatever, So that's the type of thing, right? Whether it's mercy, whether it's forgiveness, whether it's shelter, whether it's, food or whatever, not stuffing the faces full of food. We're talking about if they're starving. Now, on here, alms, right? It definitely is about giving them something, and anything given to relieve those in poverty or distress, or a charitable gift or offering, alms, an allotment of alms. Well, it's funny, in the last video, if you look at my update, we were looking at that top of the hill, and it's actually elms and arms is quite similar, but it actually got allotments running down the side of it on that map. And it's, if you just look at the last update that I've done, it's got allotments running down. And I was thinking about that when I was looking at Dunelm. Wait for alms, food from the table, reserved for distributing something of a craft, fund for the relief of guild members in distress. Charitable gift, by way of charity, alms, and voluntary charitable gift. Right, so benevolent or charitable action, deeds of mercy, works of charity, alms giving, charitable action as a means of making satisfaction or sin or earning of merit. So, burying the needy, bullies, giving food, drink for free, not charging them. Visit the sick, relieving those in prison, giving hospitality to strangers, burying the needy, dead, spiritual works of charity. So actually engaging in or giving spiritual deeds and teaching, advertising, charity. We've got forgiveness on here as well. If you just look at this. Giving, teaching, giving knowledge and education, advising. Get connected to kind of, the ancient stones and learning the knowledge and things like that. Comfort, giving patience and prayer as well. But the word that I am thinking of with Almsbury, right, and giving this wide-ranging religious engagement of giving alms, of its many forms. I did a video about the Sculptor's Cave in Scotland, and we got on to talking about the difference between, let us pray, prayers, and praying as in hunting, praying for your food. So, you pray on an animal, if you go hunting, or you pray to say prayers. We got onto that subject, and it's the same word, but sounds the same with a different letter, like pray and pray. Right, and you could have a hunter, and then you go into arch and archery. The archers on the church, and then the rainbow arch, and the multicoloured of the religious experience. But then you've got the bow of the archer as a weapon. You've got this double meaning. Now, the thing with alms, to give alms, but then if you think of Almsbury, the berry, it's the berry, or the berry, the fruit that is Almsbury. So this berry is to give someone this berry, is that to give them alms. Now, alms is also, as well as giving alms religious, it sounds like arms. To arms, my men. Giving them arms. If you're arming them, like if you're arming your soldiers. So, likewise with the double hunting mashup with, hunting or praying, if we're going to pray, are we going to, say a prayer, or we're going to shoot them with an arrow, if we're going to give them alms, are we going to give them charity or somewhere to stay or some religious education knowledge or something like that, or we're going to arm them, right, to fight, or maybe the spiritual people are armed, not only with weapons, but armour for defence. Now, in Leeds, we've got the Royal Armoury. The Royal Armoury in Leeds, and so you get on to being armed, and you're starting to get into knights and stuff like that. And on the religious end of the spectrum, other than, fighting, it is more, obviously, priest's arms, which, if there was anything that would harm a priest, then it's obviously divination, ordination and things like that, So, which is it's different to a knight being knighted, because that is armed for fighting, not, to give an arms for obviously religious service. So you've got this armed, so that it could be that the arming, the Almsbury to give alms is also to be armed or to arm someone, So there is that. If you want to go down that line of inquiry. So that's just the Almondbury origin, which is, the place next to where Castle Hill is. And then you've got Fanletius, Newsom, but then you're going over to Meltham, and then, so they're just some other points that I want to throw in, another little small discussion. This, and it's not that different from the word the elfin, but these are using the kind of the Germanic Arthurian terms, a little bit after the this is the terminology, obviously after the Brigantes and the Celts, and after the prehistoric period, and obviously after the Romans pull out, you go on to this these terminology. We haven't actually got really many of the old Celtic terms directly, because they didn't write them down or save the place names. We've only got really from the Roman period onwards, So that's another video, little talk worth mentioning.